Let the cope begin. We are, 2 weeks away from the release of the first of many Marvel bombs in 2025 with Captain America Brave New World, Captain America 4, Captain Black Falcon America Man, Captain African America, whatever you want to call it. I know what a lot of people are going to call it. What? That's a movie that's coming out? Why would I go to see a Captain America movie without Captain America? And it makes no sense. I like Falcon, but can he really drive a movie? Well, of course not, because you take a look at the marketing in and of itself. All of it has to do with the Shield and Red Hulk, which is interesting why they're taking a look at their projections and their early box office pre-sale numbers and going, you know what the problem is with our Captain America movie? It's Harrison Ford. I beg your pardon? Harrison Ford may secretly, you gotta engage every lobe in your brain, okay? You gotta get 100% full brain capacity on this one, okay? You gotta get intergalactic on this interpretation. And Harrison Ford, like a legitimate movie star for the past 4-5 decades. No. He's secretly the cause for Captain America 4's low ticket pre-sale numbers. Okay, all right. What do you got here, Jordan? Captain America: Brave New World is the newest installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, finally giving Anthony Mackie Sam Wilson his first solo film after years of playing a key role in the franchise. Yeah, after years of being a character that people liked and appreciated, somebody who has been around since 2014, for Christ's sakes. And the first time that he gets the breakout is when he gets somebody's hand-me-downs. Interesting. Fourth Cap film will follow Sam Wilson as he continues to prove himself as Steve Rogers' successor. Yeah, I thought we already went through that with the shitty D+ series that came out a couple of years ago that you have to watch in order to make sense. It's like, who's this black guy going crazy in prison? And I don't know, Isaiah? Like, who's he all about? And wasn't the story kind of building up to Bucky getting the shit? Like, what is Sam? Like, why do you have a black guy stealing somebody's personal belongings? I don't get it. And why is he's not a super soldier, so why is he taking hits from a Hulk, and there's a Red Hulk? What are we doing? It's hilarious, right? Because we know this movie is eventually coming out, right? Like, take your date on Valentine's Day down to the theater if you just want to soft break up with her, you beta bitch. But we know shockingly little about the plot, which is kind of wild, right? They got away with that with Deadpool and Wolverine, not really knowing exactly what the hell is going on, because hey, it's Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool and it's Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. You want to come to the theater and see that, right? The plot doesn't need to make sense. We don't need to respect our characters. Don't worry about that. You like the action figures, and we'll just bang them together for your guys' amusement. And it ended up working. But before that, you take a look at the Marvels, and they were just outright lying to you how Dar-Benn was going to finish the work of Thanos, and this was going to be more dark and serious. It wasn't going to be all light and floompy. Oh wait, yeah, it totally was, and it was edited together by a spastic 12-year-old high on sugar. But when it comes to this reestablishing things, like, is this a continuation of Phase 5 that kicked off with Ant-Man and the Wasp, or is this kind of a soft reboot? Is this stage Phase 6, or who the hell knows? Like, because we don't even know who the Avengers are, and we don't even know what the hell this movie's about, but come and see it because we got replacement Cap? Oh, okay. But no. Just tell us why Harrison Ford is the big, bugaboo on this one. However, new threats, yes, will arise to challenge a new Captain America, including the return of the villainous leader. You remember him. The chaos of a brand new terrorist organization and president of the United States himself, who transforms into the monstrous Red Hulk for 5 minutes at the end of the movie. Brave New World's early ticket tracking numbers have been revealed, and yes, they're on par with the Eternals and tracking just barely ahead of the Marvels. Not good, and much lower than Marvel fans were expecting. Well, yeah, I guess the diehard shills, but at the same time, everybody else looking at this from the outside in just going, what did you expect? Like, I don't think this film is going to end up bombing like the Marvels, okay? It's going to make more than $204 million, but also I don't think it's going to get to $500 million. It might sit comfortably, but in that $300 to $400 million range, which is, I guess they're going to make back their production budget, even though oh my God, like, it's not even worth bringing it up, but there was that goofy post by Disney last week. I think it came out last week where they said, hey guys, don't worry. The budget for Captain America Brave New World is $180 million. Some insiders are pointing out that, yeah, that $180 million is for the reshoots, because this is by the time that this film gets to the theaters, this film has been shot and edited and re-edited and reshot 2.5 times. It's probably still being edited right now as I record this and as you guys watch this video ahead of release. Like, this is a costly affair. By the time that we see the tax documents, don't be surprised if it's somewhere closer to $350-400 million. So yeah, they might be able to try to spin it, do some interesting Hollywood math by saying, hey, the budget, our reported budget, okay, that we leaked to Variety and the other rags that are out there. We said that it was $180 million, and yeah, if you double that to do easy movie math, oh, we made $400 million. Oh, that means there's a success. People love what we do with the passing mantles. Instead of creating new characters, we could just create one character and then just pass it out like diversity hire, job positions. It'll be great. Everybody will love it. Sure thing. This comes as the MCU continues to try to rebuild after several critical failures at the box office bombs, including Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. It's going to be interesting to compare and contrast that because this is coming out the same weekend, Brave New World and Quantumania. Ant-Man and the Wasp, I think, made $400 million. I think it's probably going to do better. And the Marvels, opening on President's Day weekend, the fourth Captain America film's 3-day weekend is projected to bring in about, they've even dropped it since then, because I thought the 3-day was supposed to hit over 100, but now it's dropped down to 95. That's below the opening, weekend numbers for Quantumania, and then after that, like, there's also been some other numbers out there for its entire domestic run, hitting maybe two. It'll be interesting. This is the opening weekend numbers, yes, for Quantumania, which proved to be a financial disappointment and far from the terrific opening of Deadpool and Wolverine last summer. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, but Brave New World's pre-sale numbers may not indicate the film's success, or you guys will just use it to recontextualize when this movie ultimately flops. Harrison Ford will play a crucial role in Brave New World, playing President Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, who transforms into the Savage Red Hulk. Ford's presence has been a major talking point of the film leading up to its release. Yeah, because he's old as hell. He thought that he was grumpy and pathetic in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny back in 2023, and he hated his life reprising the role of Han Solo twice over in the Disney sequel trilogy. Then you hear that he's going to be in a Marvel film and he's going to be a Red Hulk. You're like, what the hell are we doing here? But okay. Although he is popular with many demographics, Harrison Ford is particularly beloved by middle-aged audiences who grew up watching him star in movies like Star Wars, Jack Ryan, and Indiana Jones in the 80s and 90s. And guess what? You take a look at the median age of your Marvel fan at this point in time, it's that same boomer audience that's going to play to a Harrison Ford casting. Because here's the thing, man. Like, the cast in and of itself, like, Anthony Mackie's talented-ish. He's not a leading man, obviously. You take a look at the marketing and you take a look at the cope surrounding the film. They're doing everything they can except for just blaming him for not being able to carry a film on his own. And Harrison Ford, yes, at a certain time could put butts in seats, but because of the damage that has been done to all of these legacy brands by Disney, there's a big problem with actually turning a profit at this point in time. And it's, of course, not helped when your lead actor, somebody who is supposed to embody all of America's best values, comes out and says that Captain America needs to represent a lot of different things, but not America. Oh, yeah, that's not good. I said this before when I was doing a video on Daredevil. Go back and see that one if you want to see me rain on some more Marvel parades. But I said that this was Anthony Mackie's Rachel Zegler moment, because at this point in time, this is a quote, and this is a little clip that we'll take a look at. It's about a minute long, and I want to do the guy justice because in general, like, Anthony Mackie, he says some cringe shit in the projects that he does, like Falcon and the Winter Soldier is absolutely pathetic. It's an awful series, just filled to the gills with ideological babble. It ruins Bucky. It severely hampers Falcon. It introduces, the next Captain America and John Walker and proves that he does nothing wrong. And at the same time, it lionizes terrorists. Like, what are we doing? The one thing that I got to give it is, they had a, good line come out of that. You got to do better, Senator. And yeah, all the cope around this, you got to do better, audience. It's going to come back and bite them. But all of that pales in comparison to how this quote and how this line, not even taken out of context really, has hit the zeitgeist at this moment. And yeah, any hopes that this film was going to have, long legs or, it was just going to be a second look gem. Nuh-uh. Anthony Mackie just took the shield to Sam Wilson's knees and cut this thing off before it even hit theaters. Actor Anthony Mackie, who portrays Marvel's Captain America in the new I love it when boomer sites cover this stuff, okay? Portrays Sam Wilson. formerly the Falcon, now he wearing a vibranium suit thinking that he's Captain America. And the newest installment of Captain America Brave New World said in an interview recently that he believes that the character does not represent America. Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. It's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity, and that's all fine. Why would you try to separate that from America, especially when you're playing, let me check this. Oh, all right, Captain fucking America. Why would you want to separate those two? That would be as stupid, right? Like, say, like the publisher of somebody who has like an iconic slug line of truth, justice, in the American way. You want to go ahead and do away with that very, as you would put it, antiquated line and replace it with a bright tomorrow, or have this come full circle, a brave new world. Nobody would be that stupid, right? And then immediately backtrack on it in moments' notice. No, nobody would be that dumb. But like I said, okay, let us give the devil his due, and let's hear the quote, dissect the babble in the aftermath. It's only a minute 13. I think we can get through this. And you know what? Hey, I don't think Anthony Mackie's a bad guy. I think that he's a decent actor. He's not a leading man, and he can say some funky stuff. So I don't think he said this with malice. I just think that he said this because he was caught off guard and thought that he could rise above, or maybe he just missed the memo that patriotism, especially in America, is back on the menu. And he's been out of the loop for the past month and change. I don't know, man. Something's got to explain the stupidity.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations. Like, it's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity.
Yeah, outside of that very silly one line, I mean, yeah, no, everything's all on the up and up so far. It's like, yeah, a man who keeps his word has honor and dignity. Okay, yeah, no, that's totally fine, okay? It's just where he goes from here, he immediately knows that, oh, God, what did I say? Oh, shit, no, okay, let me go.
Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. It's kind of, this is kind of like an aspect of a dream coming true, You
know what this reads right now? Okay, he's definitely just looking around. It's like, can anybody give me a plus? Can I get line? What's the next thing I'm supposed to say? Oh shit. I guess I got to improv from here, and it's like, and then what else makes a good man good? Well, a good man is good because he's good and honest and all right, that's my time. All right, I gotta go. Thank you very much. But yeah, no, it gets weirder from here.
When I was a kid, all of us as actors, I believe, want to get back to that day before someone told you no. When you look out your door and you see a 5-year-old kid with a stick and he's slaying dragons to save the princess in the tower.
Like pretending. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, but what does this have to do with Captain America? A kid with a stick pretending to slay a dragon and save a princess, which is very antiquated. Okay, if you wanted to have this nouveau riche take that America doesn't stand for truth, justice, honesty, and dignity and integrity, well, how could you do such a very deleterious representation of gender roles? Come on, Anthony, you gotta do better, Cap.
That kid really believes there are dragons out there. That stick is really a sword, and he's really trying to save that princess. And then one day, somebody told him, no, there are no dragons, that's not a sword, and that princess is not there.
Yeah, okay, those are called good parents, because you can't just walk around and hit things with a stick to solve all of your problems. Sometimes you have to use your words and risk admitting that you were wrong and wanting to clarify your previous statements before you have to go on these very strange allegories. Anyways.
And all of his little dreams were dashed. So, as an actor, I feel like our job is to get back to the day where we see that dragon and we slay that dragon to save that princess. And that's kind of what this movie was for me.
Exactly. He tried to give a PC answer, but at the same time, instead of being politically correct, he ended up being pretty complex and is just meandering about, which you could deduce was the original question of what does the role of Captain America mean to you? You might have missed the mark there, Tony. But unlike Rachel Zegler, who I compared him to a little earlier in the video, he at least had the sense enough, okay? I won't necessarily say, you know, he got a call from his agent or anything like that. Like, I think he probably has sense enough on his own to realize, oh yeah, I really stepped in that. I should probably clarify what I meant here. But Anthony Mackie clarifies his a viral Captain America comment, which here's the sad thing, right? Like, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Chances are you guys too, if you're still watching at this point. So yeah, you're willing to, okay, you know, I understand what he was trying to go for. I don't necessarily know why he would want to separate America from all of these good values, especially when you're playing Captain America, when you want to put on, you know, the costume, take up the shield, and want to represent all of those values to be the Marvel embodiment of America. Why you would want to differentiate the two. But you can also take a look at his track record and realize that he doesn't really have a history of saying too outlandish and controversial stuff. So yeah, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm still not going to go see your terrible movie, okay? Like, don't get it twisted. But I'm not willing to throw him to the wolves quite yet. Now, if he comes out in the aftermath of this and says that nobody wanted to see my Captain America movie because everybody's racist, then we'll have a different story to tell. But as it sits right now, he clarifies his viral Captain America comments, "I'm a proud American." Now, let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American, and taking on the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. Yeah, like Cap, not becoming Cap. Mackie wrote on Instagram Stories Tuesday, "I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country. Cap has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to." Yeah, see, I kind of thought that's what he meant with his statements. He screwed up. Statement comes, yes, after comments trended online on Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, there's no sign of slowing down, because this redaction and his clarification is by no means going to circulate as loudly as the original comments have. That's just kind of the way it is, okay? To me, Captain America, yeah, represents a lot of different things. And I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. And that's going to be the slug line, and that's what everybody's going to point to when this film ultimately fails. But in general, and as we've known and as we've talked about for a very long time, it's not going to be the sole reason this movie fails. It's because of production hell. It's because this film has no idea what it's trying to be, no idea what it was to begin with, and how it got reshot and then reshot again. And now they're bringing in different villains in order to augment the story, and how they're trying to make a failed storyline in the comic books work in the theaters, but none of this is working. None of this is working at all. And this is going to be the first of many Marvel flops. It might end up being, at the end of the day, the least offensive Marvel film. That could end up being the Thunderbolts. Like, the Thunderbolts is probably going to be bad, but it's not going to mess up anything anybody actually cares about at this point in time. Captain America, yeah, that has a little bit more cachet, but it's not Steve Rogers. Okay, and then when Fantastic Four comes out and it's an outright disaster, Mel Silver Surfer, Pedro Pascal is the smartest man alive. That's, I guess, why it is acting after all. I don't think that this is going to hurt nearly as much as the rest that's on the slate. I'm going to go ahead and reserve that for Daredevil, because there's people that are still dumb enough to think that that thing's going to be good, not realizing that the showrunner is just all about shooty bang bang action and less about the stuff that made the original series so memorable to begin with. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I should follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.